Hello, buenos dias. What's up, people? How you doing? Okay, episode. I don't even know what number episode this is for Papi's Gaming Show, but welcome to the newest episode of Papi's Gaming Show. I'm going to talk about getting back into Dragon Quest X, that experience, and why I started a new file. And yeah, obviously, we'll also talk about what I'm playing. Um, you know, my progression through some of the games I've been playing, um, not live or live, whatever. And yeah, just kind of some other stuff as well. Why not? Progress with my card game slash tabletop RPG. So yeah, let's definitely get into it. So my experience starting the game again, the Dragon Quest X, has been absolutely amazing. I loved it. I did have a little bit of some hiccups when I first started off because basically I thought I had everything ready. I went live, and I thought it was gonna be as simple as just creating a new profile for a character. But as I don't know if you guys watched my very actually first live stream or two, but basically I couldn't figure out how to start a new file. um, yeah, it was a little rough. So basically, it took me like 2 hours to figure it out. Shout out to the freaking Dragon Quest X community. As always, they're so willing to help and so ready to help people. Uh, Shobu specifically helped me out a ton, so shout out to him. But basically, yeah, I wanted to create a new character, which I was able to eventually. It was a completely different route I had to take when logging in. But yeah, of course, a game that's in 100% Japanese, that you know it's kind of hard to figure things out on your own if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, again, shout out to the community. But yeah, so I started a new file. I decided to start from scratch, literally from the tutorials. Which took me about two live streams, about 3 hours or so, to beat again. And yeah, it was a freaking amazing time. I loved it. Um, yeah, I just absolutely love this game. Like there's a lot of little differences. Obviously, I mean it's an MMO, so it's kind of expected. But like all of the differences are like really good things. Like it still feels like Dragon Quest a lot. Like it's not like it doesn't feel like it's like a completely different franchise or anything like that. It still feels Dragon Quest, although it's got a little bit of a different like battle system, and obviously the structure of like the story and everything is different because there's so much story, there's so much content that obviously it's going to feel a little different. And the thing is, from what I could tell so far, from what I've played before and now, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have like the Dragon Quest Seven problem, where Dragon Quest Seven, great game. Don't get me wrong; it's actually one of my favorites, mostly because of the vocation grinding aspect of it, which I've talked about a lot. But it doesn't have the problem where it feels kind of like that game is a little like the pacing is like really slow, and the story's kind of like all over the place, only because there's it like every like fragment that you collect is like its own story, and it almost feels like it's just separated from everything, which is, I think it's obviously part of the game, because like that's the whole point. Like everything was fragmented, and then you're putting everything back together. But it just feels like the pacing is so slow that it just feels like it drags on so much, in terms of the story. But I don't get that feeling at all with this one. Like, I mean, I've only technically beaten version 1 the first time, and I'm only still in version 1, but still, it just feels like a really great game, and then it's gonna stack like it's gonna like my opinion about it's gonna keep stacking on top of on top of, like a pancake on top of a pancake, like on top of a pancake sort of thing. Where like Dragon Quest Seven feels like you're not stacking the pancake up to make it more delicious after you add delicious syrup and stuff. You're like eating one pancake at a time, which is also fine. Again, it's just you're not enjoying. It's not like a super delicious experience. It's just kind of like it's good and then it's good and then it's good. Blah blah blah. Anyways, enough of my analogies. Gosh dang it. So yeah. So basically, it's amazing. I love it. The story's great. You you're basically a chosen one, classic, right? But instead of using the power on yourself to save yourself, you use it on your sister, which I'm still curious about who who your sister ends up being or who she is in the future, because from what I could tell, or that character, like, is she going to be part of the story somehow? She's got to be, right? Um, is she gonna? Yeah, I'm just wondering when she's gonna appear in the future. I'm assuming she's going to. I haven't seen her at all when I was, or maybe I have. I just don't remember when I was playing version one the first time. But yeah, I just wonder when she will appear in the game. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Um, but yeah. So anyway, it's a great experience. I'm absolutely loving it all over again. And the biggest reason why I wanted to start a new game is, well, my problem really is twofold. One is when I put a game down for a really long time, which I don't remember the last time I played Dragon Quest X, but it's definitely been, I feel like it's been more than a year, but it's probably not been that long, honestly. But just so much has happened, in between those two time periods, that I just felt like I feel like I need to start a new game, just so I can kind of keep fresh the story and also where I was at, because I couldn't tell you where I was at the last time, like, at all, right? I'm sure if I put in some effort, I'd be able to remember, but it just doesn't feel the same. And so I basically want to keep the game fresh in my memory and play it as much as possible, you know? And so that's kind of the goal. But basically, the the other reason that I wanted to start a new file is because I didn't really like the direction my first file was going, in the sense of like story progression or like progression in general. I feel like I was just like all over the place with like, you know, with what I was doing. And I have a really weird problem with games where like I feel like I have to like do everything in order, if that makes sense. Like one of the biggest problems I have in terms of like when I start a new franchise is that I have to start from the first game. Like, it could be like a remake of the first game or a remastered version, but I have to start the series, the franchise, with the first game. Like, if I don't do that, it just feels wrong to me, you know? And like when I actually started playing Dragon Quest games like 8, 9 years ago, I did do that, you know? I actually did start from number one, and then I beat number one, and I beat number two. Well, technically, Dragon Quest Heroes was what really got me into the series. After playing that and like learning about each character, I wanted to play each mainline game, which I did, and at first I started doing that. I played the first one again, I beat it. Second one, third one, fourth one, and then after the fourth one, I started five, I think, And I started to notice as well that, 1 to 3 is a trilogy, 4 to 6 is a trilogy. But I also kind of started to hop around a little bit because I also knew that it wasn't like connected 100%. They were different like storylines. Um, and so I didn't really care that much about keeping this, this order anymore, the correct order. So I did start jumping around a little bit, but I usually play things in order. My point is that I was playing Dragon Quest X technically in order, but there's a lot of things I was doing that were not like in order. And again, I know that the game is an MMO, it's huge, there's so many things to do. And so technically, like, yeah, like there's an excuse for that, but it still felt wrong to me. It felt wrong to me that I was doing so many different things that instead of focusing on the story. And so it was like don't get me wrong, playing with like everyone I played with and all the experiences I had and all of the things that I did was a fantastic time. I had a really good time. I met a lot of really cool people, um, and it was a lot of fun. Like I'm excited to get to like that point where I like can like actually interact with more people and like play with more people and do quests with people and like help people out or just like have fun together with others. Like I'm excited to get to that point for sure. But before I get to that point, I really just want to focus on the story. Like I really just want to and that's the thing. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna play multiplayer stuff throughout my storyline. I just want to get to like a certain point and then do like maybe some live streams of like doing multiplayer stuff and then go back to like the story before I progress like in the story and stuff like that. So yeah, so basically I just want to do it my way. I want to like focus on the story, do it on my own, and and that's it, sort of thing. And so that's kind of my plan with this playthrough. With this new playthrough, I'm really excited to experience it the way I want to experience it. Excuse me, sorry guys. So yeah, so basically that's where I'm at. Um, so yeah, so I'm really excited to do that. I'm having a blast. Again, I love this game. It's so much fun. I am totally addicted to it. I think about it all the time. Um, I hate that I can't play it as much as I want to. Because usually, like, when I'm not live streaming a game, I can usually play it, like, at work or whatever, a little bit when I'm on, like, my break or whatever. But or if like my kids are busy enough or whatever, I can play a little bit. But in this case, I can't play at all until I like sit down on my laptop. But that's a very rare occasion. So yeah, that's why I usually prefer like portable systems like my Nintendo Switch, for example, just because I have more access to it. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm basically I'm still excited. I'm really excited to keep playing this game, progressing in the story and all that fun stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for more Dragon Quest X live streams for sure. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, that's basically it with like my main topic. Um, yeah, in terms of the story of where I'm at in the game currently, I am where, let's see, I have, oh yeah, that's right. I got my first key emblem. I was able to get my first key emblem, which was a really good time. Um, and one thing that I appreciate with the game quite a bit, especially with the English tools, is the first time I played, which again was like a year ago, um, and I played for like a couple months or whatever. I feel like the English tools were not as good as they are now. I feel like the progression of the English tools has been quite significant. Um, in terms of like improvements and stuff. Like, yeah, I feel like the English tools have come a really long way. Obviously, it's due to the people that work on it. Like, it's obviously due to their effort and like their dedication to doing it, and like, you know their consistency and all that. So I think I feel like the experience this time around is a lot smoother. uh, and I feel like the English tools have been almost upgraded in a way. um, yeah, I think they're doing a really good job. So yeah, I really appreciate that, because it almost feels like I'm playing an English game. It almost feels like I'm actually playing it in English. um, like it feels natural, if if you catch what I'm throwing at you. If you smell what I'm stepping in, you know what I mean. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, super super enjoying the experience for sure. But yeah, I've gotten the black key emblem. That's the last thing I did. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of side questing for a little bit before I go to the next region to be able to get my next key emblem, because that's one of the things that I want to take advantage of as well during this story like playthrough. Is I want to experience each region a little bit more. Last time I was just kind of focused on like jumping through each region, and I feel like I didn't really like get to experience each region and area that much. I mean, I know I'm going to for sure like be able to do that anyways with time. I'll probably be going back to the same regions like a poop ton, throughout me playing the game. But still, I don't care. I want to experience a little bit more of it than I did before, you know, before I move to the next key emblem. So that's kind of the plan again going forward. So yeah. And then besides Dragon Quest X, uh, yeah, since the last time I did an episode, I didn't beat the Nuzlocke challenge, and now I did my version of it. I should clarify, like I just need to. But yeah, but since the last episode of Papi's Gaming Show, I have been able to complete my version of the Nuzlocke challenge for Dragon Quest 3 HD2 Remake. And yeah, it was an experience. I was able to beat Baramos. Shout out to freaking Jack for the solid freaking advice throughout the whole battle. Um, Definitely helped me out a ton with knowing like how to fight against Baramos, which obviously when you know what the boss's weakness is and stuff like that, like you could totally 100% um, make it so the game, like the boss fights are a lot smoother and just easier basically. So yeah, so I really appreciate Jack for all the help with Baramos, but with also a lot of the other bosses. He just totally helped me out a ton with them. So thanks again, Jack. um, yeah, so that was it, dude. We beat Baramos. He was done. His reign was done, dude. And it's funny because like right after, like obviously we all know that it's not technically over because Zoma is still king of the underworld and still terrifying and wreaking havoc as the demon lord in Alefgard. So the underworld's not saved, but the overworld is. And that's kind of how I see it now. I was able to beat the overworld, and that's it. But it's funny because before, instead of actually going up and receiving my welcome from the king and my congratulations, I went left. I turned left and went to go save, and I just ended the challenge. so, so yeah. Technically, that game file is now in a state of limbo where nothing is going on anymore for now. You know, my dad is still lost, Ortega. Uh, Freaking, we don't know where he is, but hey, we think he's dead, or we are pretty sure he is. Um, and then Zoma, we're all blissfully ignorant to his existence in the world above. So yeah, we have nothing to worry about. The world is saved, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, um, there you go. But yeah, that was it for the Dragon Quest III HC2 Remake Challenge. It was a good time. Well, again, being honest with you guys, it was not a good time. It was not a good time. I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I know that some of you want me to continue, but I'm sorry, guys. It's just, oh my gosh, it's too much, man. It is way too much. So, yeah. So yeah, it was an experience. It was an experience for sure. So yeah, let's move on to my personal file of Dragon Quest III HC2 Remake. So as you might know, if you were on my live stream my last night, well, I'm recording on Tuesday, March 25th. So if you're watching this, you know, last night, when I'm referring to last night, was on the 24th when I live streamed my first part of fighting Zoma, which, was great. Although I didn't actually fight Zoma yet because I started from outside the castle, Zoma's castle, and then I'm working my way through the castle and then eventually fighting Zoma. So, yeah. And yeah, and I basically didn't get to Zoma yet, but we definitely made some good progress throughout the castle. And yeah, and that's where I'm at currently in my personal file. Um, my goal with the personal file is to, and honestly, I kind of see this as a long term goal. I don't really feel like it's something I have to do right now, sort of thing, or like I'm desperate to complete, sort of thing. Like if, sorry, I was just taking a sip of water. Like if finishing Dragon Quest III HC2 Remake the way I want to finish it takes me like a year or two, I'm cool with that. Like I'm cool with that because I've basically experienced what I needed to experience with it. But I want to beat everything. I want to finish the story. I want to beat the post game. Then I want to capture every single monster, and then I want to complete the tournament. And so there's still a lot of gameplay left for me to do in the game. Like there is. And I'm excited about it. I'm happy about that. And I'm going to keep playing a little bit of it, you know, every now and then. Like I'm to the point where I'm basically done with the story, especially after I complete, you know, the beat Zoma and then also beat the post game. But I'm to a point where I'm okay with like taking a break and coming back and just picking up where I left off, sort of thing. Um, like I'm not gonna feel the need to like restart the game file if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm gonna keep playing. You know, progressing little by little in my gameplay. So yeah, so I'm excited to keep doing that. Yeah, and then after that, basically, yeah. Besides Dragon Quest III HC2 to remake, I have been getting back into Mario and Luigi Brothership because it's a game that I mean, I knew it was going to be impossible, but I kind of wanted to beat Mario and Luigi Brothership before I got into Dragon Quest III HD2 Remake because unfortunately it only came out a week before, you know, uh, Dragon Quest III HD2 Remake came out. So I didn't really have that much time. But I was still, after DQ3 came out, I was still um, just playing Mario and Luigi like off live stream and just trying to beat that game. And I remember still like thinking like, man, I really need to start Dragon Quest 3 HD2 remake, but I kind of don't want to yet. I really want to beat Mario and Luigi, and I kind of forced myself to put it down and just start GQ3, which I don't regret doing, but at the same time, I do kind of regret doing it because I had a lot of enthusiasm to keep playing Mario and Luigi. Um, yeah, I do kind of regret doing that actually, but it's all good because I do want to beat that game before I play any other game, you know? So my goal right now is to beat Mario and Luigi Brothership before I get into whatever other game, you know? And, you know, for example, I still need to beat like I said, Dragon Quest 3 HD2 Remake still got a lot to do. So there's one. Mario and Luigi, obviously, like I'm talking about, I need to beat that. And then after that, um, what I want to be playing offline and what I'm gonna be probably um, playing next. I mean, listen, I've still got freaking Elden Ring. I still got freaking what's it called? Demon Souls, and I still got freaking Dragon's Dogma 2 that I still need to beat. Those games are ginormous. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to like well, Demon Souls is not that big. I know that. I've heard that before. Demon Souls is not that big. But it's still a pretty huge time investment compared to like the available time that I actually have. So, you know, it's still a huge kind of daunting task to actually be able to do that sort of thing and like beat those games. Besides, when I talk about really playing offline, I mostly talk about like games that I can actually play like again more comfortably and I have more access to, which again would be on the Nintendo Switch. But one game that I really, really want to get into that I haven't been able to try out yet is Unicorn Overlord. Only because I got it for Christmas. It's a game I've always been really curious about since it was announced. Um, and so I really want to give it a shot soon. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start that game once I beat Mario and Luigi Brothership. I might start that game. So yeah, I and I know it's probably a ginormous game. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I kind of want to start that game. You know, after Mario and Luigi Brothership. And again, whenever I have some time where I can actually sit down and play the PlayStation and not go live, and like I don't have to worry about going live, I'll definitely get back into Demon Souls and all that stuff. So yeah, so yeah, so anyway, I'm excited to do that. Um, yeah, so yeah, let's talk about because I think that's all the games I've been playing. I think that's all the games I've been playing. I don't think I've been playing anything else. Let me see. I haven't played Fantasy Life for a while. I probably won't play it again until the new one comes out, honestly. Um, and then yeah, in that game, see, I'm completely satisfied with where I got to because I technically did even more than what I like my goal was to achieve, you know. So I'm really satisfied with where I'm at with that game. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I think besides that, I don't think there's anything else I'm really playing. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Which let's talk about anime that I'm watching. So anime. Um, okay, so Hajime no Ippo. I've talked about this quite a bit, but Hajime no Ippo, bro, and it's getting good. It's getting good. Um, Ippo himself fought a and defended his title for I think it was the fifth time, and yeah, he proved himself to the world that he was able to do it. Um, because people were doubting him that he was a cheese champion, from what they called him. But he proved that he was not no cheese champion. He was a real champion. And it was sick, bro. It was sick. It was a great, great freaking fight, and I loved it. Yeah, and then besides that, there was Miyata. Miyata fought and defended his title and did it in a spectacular way. Um, and the next fight, I hope, between them two. I want Ippo and Miyata, bro. They haven't fought since they fought the first time, and it's the fight that we need to see. It needs to happen, and so I hope that happens next. Um, but yeah, and besides that, right now where I'm at in the show, Takamura is fighting the Golden Eagle, and it's getting freaking great. It's really, really good. A lot of intensity. Basically, Takamura has been pinned as like the bad guy, which is hilarious, and also it makes sense. Really, I mean, he freaking acts like one, so you know. But you gotta love him for it. You gotta love him for it. I don't hate him at all for it. It's just who he is, you know. It is what it is. Some of us have more of a villain perspective on life and things, and some of us don't. Some of us are more heroic. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know. But I'm really enjoying that fight as well. Um, I'm I did watch this season a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure Takamura wins. I just don't remember how it happened, so I'm excited for that. I was moving my mic, by the way, so hopefully it didn't sound too staticky while I was talking there. But yeah, so there's that. And then other anime, I think that's it for now. That's all I've been really watching anime-wise. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about my card game / tabletop RPG, Phoenix Quest card game. So, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Um, Man, the more I work on this project, the longer I feel like it'll take to actually finish it. And obviously, that's a good thing in a sense because I'm coming up with a lot of really good ideas and a lot of really good content and a lot of really good sort of things to improve and situations and all that stuff. But I mean, I won't lie, it is a little frustrating because, man, I would love to finish this as soon as possible. But yeah, but I want it to be really good. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be something that people are actually interested in purchasing and trying out. And so I really want to make sure that the quality of everything is top notch. So yeah, so although it's a little frustrating that it's taking me so much time, I also know that it's going to be really good. I have a lot of faith in this project, and I'm going to do it right, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, so hopefully, I hope I can get it done and ready this year. Um, the longer, I mean, dude, we're already almost in April, which is insane to me. It's insane. I can't believe we're almost in April. Um, but yeah, I was hoping to be done in the freaking spring, but we're already in spring. So yeah, to be honest, I feel like I'm going to be done either later in the year or maybe even next year, bro. Because yeah, there's a lot I still have to do. But again, I'm it's a good problem to have because I really want this to be really really good. So, yeah. So, I've got a lot more monsters I need to draw as well. I've been touching up a lot of monsters and just kind of fixing a little bit of details here or adding a little bit of details there. Um, you know, I've been doing just a lot of stuff. I have to draw a couple more characters, well, several technically, but yeah, there's a lot I still have to do, and yeah, I'm excited to do it. So, yeah, it's a work in progress. We're progressing a little bit every single day. It feels like the finish line is getting a little further away every day, but it's a good type of problem. It really is. So, anyway, we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, that's basically it in terms of my update with that project. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Um, yeah, one thing I'm going to start doing a little bit more of is doing a little bit more like reviews of like what I've been playing and stuff like that. I've got a lot of reviews in the pipeline, but they're probably going to be a little more simplified. They're probably not going to have a lot of editing. It's probably just going to be kind of like a kind of, just my thoughts overall of like my experience with this or that. But I am going to be putting out more videos soon about, some like thoughts about some games I've been playing or you know uh, once I get to a specific point, I review that experience sort of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Um, yeah, because I want to put out more videos, and I'm gonna try to do this weekly again. This Papi's Gaming Show. I'll be honest, well, we know I've been slacking on that, but anyway. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace and love. Stay safe out there.